I was just like dead, you know? And then I just remember going back home and was like, "I can't live like this. Just can't do it." I'm an ex-drug dealer. I used to deal drugs a lot. So I used to be pushing weed, doing all this stuff, like, just crazy stuff. And I wasn't around the best crowd. These are people, part of gang affiliations and, carrying guns and doing all the things. And this is like when you're 13, 14 years old, I remember getting robbed a few times. I got held up at gunpoint. I had 2 friends die from an overdose. I had 1 friend shot and killed. That's also a part of my life that I kind of walked away from because I was like, I could easily jump in rank by killing somebody and just being like, you could rob me, but I'm gonna catch you and then nobody's gonna mess with me. Or I could have took the L and walked away.
So that temptation's always there.
Yeah, I could have made the biggest mistake of my life, but like the Lord divinely blocked this. I was ready. Like I went over, I made plans. Like I had my backpack, filled the gas tank in my car, drove up there.
He kept you.
He kept me. He kept me. He literally kept me. Like I could have made the worst mistake of my life. Not even knowing about like generational curses and like soul ties and what demonic influences could be passed down. I didn't think about that stuff. And like, thank God, because the amount of chains and stuff I had to break just without that, I can only imagine what would happen if I did have that. I used to drink, I used to smoke, I used to, mess around with girls. I used to do all the things. People pleasing, seeking validation, suicidal ideation, anything you could think of that the heart would produce. There's a good chance I probably did it. There was like a bunch of stuff, man. Anxiety, more anxiety in the adult years, but like I didn't know that I was actually living from anxiety, but I just thought it was nervousness. I remember I felt like this huge concrete weight, like a kitchen sink on my chest and like in my gut, just like a tension, like a knot. And I'm like just sitting back like, I can't do this anymore. And I was like, God, like help me. Like I don't want to live like this anymore. I literally would feel my heart like, and I couldn't stop it. And that's what freaked me out more because I was like, I can't stop this. And like, I remember dealing with anxiety in that way. That just kind of morphed into like, okay, I got to really dig out like all this trash in me. Like, what is going on? And I went through that like a deep inner healing route.
So did you know about like deliverance and all that at this point? Or you were just kind of just going through the motions?
I didn't know a lick of it. I was doing all the practical stuff.
You could definitely see, man, like looking back, you could just see like the Lord just orchestrating everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was driving. I ended up hydroplaning. My tail went out and it threw me into a concrete wall at like 60, 70 miles an hour. Airbags deployed, car totaled.
I seen the pictures of that car too, man. That looked nuts.
Literally almost died. I got rushed to the hospital on a stretcher and I walked out and they were like, nothing's wrong with you. Not a bruise, not a scratch, not a concussion, nothing.
Glory.
Not a cut on me. Not even a cut. Just some whiplash. That same Sunday, I walked into church. I was like, I'm not missing church. And people were like, you're here? I'm like, yeah.